Those poly all come free.
Alright, so this is my deck tech for Junk Midrange. There's a lot of creatures, a lot of threats, a lot of removal. That's pretty much all it is. And
that's my whole deck tech.
I mean, there's not too much more to talk about. Over this weekend at the pre-release, I picked up a Johnny Steadfast. Did not pull it, unfortunately enough. But I still got it, and I'm hopefully going to trade it for Johnny Mentor of Heroes. If Jake's, hopefully, not going to realize that the price is going to drop. So, I also run 2 Elspeth Some Champions, just to put a little pressure on, and it's a great card on its own, which apparently can win you games. It hasn't really won me that many, but it's assisted greatly in doing so. It's gotten 8-10 damage in sometimes, and that's half their life total, so I'd say it's worth it. Plus, it can get rid of some of their creatures a lot of the time. For creatures, I run 2 Dryad Militants, which I just put in to speed it up a little bit, and some decks cast stuff from the graveyard, so it works. It's a 1-drop 2/1, which stays in the threats category. It can get in for some early damage, 4, sometimes 6 if they have a slow start. I run 4 Fleecemane Lion, just because it's an amazing card. No one can deny that. When you monstrous it for Hexproof Indestructible, it's great. It's extremely hard to get rid of. And it can get in for 4 damage with nothing killing it. It can really pressure them, block mostly anything except flyers. But we'll get to those later. I run 4 Sylvan Caryatids just because the junk land base is so difficult. And that's what I was told. I've learned that. But, I pretty much just threw in a bunch of guild gates and it worked alright. It was slower than I'd like, and I didn't get the scries, but I'm working on that, as you can see. I have, 2 Temple of Silence, 3 Temple of Malady, and I haven't gotten any of the, Temple of Plenties yet. But, the land base is starting to work out alright. I just took out 2 Voyaging Satyrs, because I was getting too much land sometimes, but I'll probably keep those around a little bit longer, see if I need them. I run 3 Boonslater, just because I like Combat Trick. They're always fun to use, and, a 4/2 can really get in for that 3rd turn. 4 damage it's a good thing to have out there. Plus, say somebody has a 3/3 that they really don't want to die, say it's like one of their only creatures, it will die to those, but it'll stop them from attacking a little bit, make them second guess themselves, which kind of keeps them on edge, and you want them to react to you, so it works out really well. I run 3 Reaper of the Wilds. It gives me a decent amount of card advantage. It can kill anything that doesn't have Indestructible or First Strike, or protection from either of its colors. It can get hexproof, so it's great against control decks and decks that will try and kill it. You have to leave 2 mana up, and this is a pretty mana-intensive deck, but I think it's worth it. I've gotten a lot of criticism about it, but people always try and get rid of it, so that means they don't like it. And 4-drop 4/5 is never bad. I run 2 Pelucanos. I couldn't really run 4 because it was legendary, but it handles tokens pretty well, or like Brain Maggot. I run into that a decent amount, and it's great for that. Plus, it can get up in this deck. I run 28 land, 4 mana Dork, or 24 land, my bad. So that's 28 total. It can get up to be pretty big over the game. I run 2 Arbor Colossus, so I don't have to worry about sideboarding in for flyers. Plus, it's a 6/6 for 5 with reach, so that's just great on its own. And then you can monstrous it and make it a 9/9 and destroy a creature with flying. So that's a kill spell, and you get a 9/9 out of it for 6 land. I'd say that's worth it, if you ask me. I don't know if I mentioned a Johnny Mentor of Heroes yet. It makes my threats even bigger. It can dig down to my threats, and when I pop it, it's just devastating to the other opponent. It's made some people scoop, like Joe here. It's a great pair with Elspeth. I don't know if I said that, I forget. Because you get 2/2s every turn. And I run 3 Banishing Light in terms of removal spells. 2 Silence the Believers, 4 Heroes Downfall, 2 Ultimate Price, and that's it. I took out 2 Silence the Believers just because of how mana intensive it was, that was a little bit over the top. 7 mana. 2 works. I can get rid of 2 creatures. I don't really need it that much, ever. So having 2 gets me it pretty much just about when I need it. But I subbed in 2 ultimate price for it, which gives me the early game removal, less black intensive, and I mean, I have enough removal to deal with things that aren't multicolored on its own anyways. Hero's Downfall, just great card, can get rid of Planeswalkers as well as Banishing Light, except they can't, you can get rid of Banishing Light, so that's one of the downfalls of that. No pun intended. I run 2 God's Willing. It's another combat trick, which I've always loved. It can, if they say they attack with like a 5/5 and you have a Mystic out. I don't run those. So in my time, or my place, I would say a Dried Militant. That's all I have. I could God's Willing stay alive for that extra turn. Not necessarily alive, but like not lose a quarter of my life for that extra turn. And hopefully draw into something that can take care of it with all this removal and bigger creatures. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Sideboard. For my sideboard, I'm going to move this stuff. I run 2 Devour Flesh, more removal if I need it, or I can get a little bit of life if they don't have a ton of creatures. 2 Solemn Offering. It's great against control decks. Can get rid of that pesky little detention sphere, which I get on Elspeth all the time, and sometimes a Johnny, or on my creatures. It's just really, really helpful. Banishing Light too, if people run that. Enchantment decks, I always sub it in there. I run 2 Elixir of Immortality. I've faced mill decks on occasion here, and I had some extra room, so I figured, why not? Can't hurt. Gains me 5 life sometimes if I want to, and I get my whole graveyard back. I run 3 Mistcutter Hydras, once again against control decks, can't be countered, pro blue, and with the 28 land sources I have, it can get pretty massive. It can be a game changer, potentially a game winner. If my deck's having an off day, and I just need to boost it up a little bit, I'll toss in that 1 Read the Bones. I find it worth it, because when I get it, it's great to have. I don't like the 2 life, that's really a killer for me, but I can deal with it when I need it. I run 3 Desecration Demon, because I have Arbor Colossus for flyers, but it's, I don't know, I mean, sometimes just getting those 2 isn't enough. 5th turn to have it versus some of the really early flyers, say like a Dagger Drum Imp that they put things on, that's getting them in life, and if I can do anything, say like 4th turn, to stop them from attacking with that, then that's great for me. I run 1 Spear sideboarded, a lot of criticism about that, but I like it. It gives my creatures +1/+1, which can't hurt, ever. And it can really make them second guess their attacks, because you can destroy target creature. It's, I don't know, I just like it a lot. It's sort of just a helpful thing to have if I want it. And that's pretty much it. Feel free to comment any questions you have about your decks or input for my deck, please. I would be greatly appreciative of it. I can't seem to get much out of these 2 guys here. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button.